welcome tonight to our webinar on postpartum stress. And yeah, thank you for joining us, whether it's tonight or at a later time, whenever you're able to watch this. You are seeking more information to be better prepared during this exciting but stressful time during your postpartum period. You're about to be, or you're already in it, a crucial part of your motherhood journey, whether that's going from 0 to 1, 3 to 4, or if it's your second little kiddo, expanding your family is stressful. There's no doubt about that. So in these times, you're going to be having to adapt to a bunch of new things. So a new routine and stresses that go along with that. Your healing and caring for you and your your new little one. Decreased sleep, postural and tension stressors, and then hormones, balancing out your hormones. And then hopefully you won't have to deal with this, but anxiety, depression, which is not talked about nearly enough, but is definitely something we're going to talk about tonight. So hello parents, or soon to be. I'm Dr. Josh from Be Well Chiropractic. I'm a pediatric, prenatal, and family chiropractor here in Wasilla, Alaska. I see a ton of pregnant mamas throughout their entire pregnancy, and of course I see their kids and a ton of other kiddos every day in my office. So now we're going to talk about 3 types of stress: physical, chemical, and emotional. So first off, stress is the cause of really any and every sickness and disease. Well, actually, it's more of a failure to adapt to the stress. So real quick, let's talk about the nervous system and its role in these 3 stresses. So your nervous system is your brain and your spinal cord and all the nerves coming off of it. Those nerves go to every single organ, every single cell, every tissue, every hormone, every part of your body. This is your master controller. It controls every single part of your body. So when you have some sort of subluxation or miscommunication in your nervous system, you get symptoms. And those symptoms come up, as an interference in your brain-body communication. So your brain and body back to your brain should have a clear communication of what's going on in its environment. And so if not, if it has those subluxations or those miscommunications, it gets a fuzzy signal. And what those do is it causes those stress hormones to rise. You get less sleep, anxiety, and so on. So now we're going to break it down into each type of stress we just talked about. So we're going to talk about physical, emotional, and chemical stresses. So we're going to talk about physical first. We're going to talk about how that affects mom and how that affects baby. And so for mom, being a new mom or a new mom again is, it's hard. I'm on my, about to have a 3rd one here anytime. So we'll keep you posted on that. But, although it's really hard and stressful, intense, the 9-10 months, all that going through, every mom says it's totally worth it. They wouldn't change it for the world. But there's tons of physical stress that goes along with that. So lack of sleep. Your baby's only sleeping 1 to 3 hour stretches at a time. You're getting that mom brain fog going on. You have to, you don't remember anything, or you just can't forget, or you keep forgetting everything. What's going on in the schedule, because you have so much going on as a new mom. So, and then you have more life demands. So either you have this, if this is your first, you still have friends and family, significant other, or other toddlers. So you have a ton of stuff pulling at you, whether that's work, whatever. Lots of, it just adds more demand to you. The physical changes to your body. So a possible trauma from, a vaginal birth, stitches, C-section, things of that nature. And, another one that a lot of people don't think about is you have all this new baby stuff, especially if it's your first one. You have the car seat and the carrier and all of that. So carrying the baby around, holding them, nursing, rocking, soothing them to sleep, whatever it is, you have all this new stuff that's happened physically to your body, let alone, added to really, after the birth process. Then breast size changes as milk comes in. You know, so that's a physical added stress, uncomfortable. Not to mention, you know, right after delivery, you know, your core strength is lacking quite a bit, and then you really probably feel this throughout your pregnancy, towards the end maybe, and after. You know, you have a lot of tension in the pelvic pubic area, low back discomfort. You know, as you're nursing and rocking and all of that, you're going to get the upper back shoulder blades because you're like this, or you're always looking down, looking at your new little baby there. So those are all a bunch of physical stresses that, you know, you're normally not used to, and so this is going to add that stress to your nervous system. And so for baby, you know, physically, you know, even if you have a perfect birth process for mom or baby, whether it's, you know, it's long or short or fast, it's still physical, and it's straining and it's stressful to the baby. You know, the baby is there, stuck in that nice, perfect environment for it for 9-10 months, and, you know, all of a sudden it comes into this world. Well, there's a lot of things going on in this world. You know, they have noise, a lot more noise, lights, the moisture, the air, you know, the sun, different clothes, and all this kind of stuff. These are all different kinds of stresses put on the baby because it's all new to them, and they have to figure out how to adapt to those. So what this does is because there's so much of that added onto the birth process, that it kicks them into that stress mode fast. So you know, it's kind of like as adults or whatever, when you're sleeping, someone comes in, wakes you up, flips the light on real fast, and it's just like, holy moly, so bright, and you kind of get that heart racing, and you're like, oh, you know, what's going on? That's that stress response. So that's what's happening to your little ones as they come to this world. There's all these new things, and so you can also think of it as your first time driving out here in the winter when the snowy storm. You know, you're white knuckling it. You're just like super focused, worried about everything that's going on around you. You know, it's not as stressful the more you do it. And so the more baby gets used to things, they start to calm down, hopefully, you know, as they go through that. Post-birth adjustments, you know, those are really, really important to set that nervous system into that calm mode versus allowing that stress mode to persist over time, 1 week, 3 months, 5 years. We really want to get that nervous system into that parasympathetic part of your nervous system. That's your resting, digesting, calming, growing part of your nervous system. So we want to get them out of that stress, fight or flight mode, and get them into that calm mode that is going to set them up for, you know, to start that growing and nurturing and milestones and all of that. So emotional stress for mom, you know, tons of emotional stress going on. You know, they have that worry, especially as new moms, or even, you know, as you have more kiddos, there's still that worry and fear, and you kind of get in that mama bear protection mode. And so you have people coming in and wanting to touch your baby, hold them, grab them, you know, whatever, all that kind of stuff. And so, you know, that adds that stress emotionally to you. And then, you know, there's the guilt about relationships. So you're spending so much time focused on your little one that you know, you don't really have time even for maybe your husband or your other kids. You have so much focus on them that you know, you have that guilt that you can't give to everybody else. But you know, most women and moms, you know, they're givers. They want to give to everybody, and when they can't do that, they feel that guilt. You know, I know this as a dad. Really, 2 kiddos, and we have 1 on the way any day now. So, you know, I know how hard it is to see your wife going, you know, see my wife, your wife going through the pain emotionally and physically. It's really hard. So as a dad's perspective, you know, I understand, and you know, we play a huge role in supporting our new moms, and it's really, really important. For baby, you know, I talk about this a lot going through pregnancy with all my moms, that, you know, whatever happens to mom happens to baby. So if you have a stressful pregnancy, that's going to grow a stressful baby. But, you know, that really doesn't stop after the birth. You know, the baby's still, their emotions are still connected with mom's. And so if mom is going through all this worry and fear and anxiety and all these different crazy emotions, baby's going to feel that as well. And it can start that stress response, maybe cause some bonding issues, nursing issues, different things like that. So for chemical, this is a real big one. As I mentioned before, anything that goes into mom goes into baby. So that's throughout pregnancy. That's it. Anything you eat, drink, medications, all that kind of stuff, it can be passed along to the baby. And then also big hormone change goes on right after delivery. So you build all these hormones up to get you ready for the birth. And then as soon as baby comes, you have a huge drop in hormones. And this is a perfect, recipe really for postpartum anxiety and depression. And this should really be checked, in the first 3 to 10 weeks. It's different for every mom. Hopefully you won't have to deal with that, or you haven't gone through that. But it's really different for everybody, and it's really a great idea to go get checked by your provider and just talk to people about it. And then for chemicals, so when you nursing, I get a lot of moms that come in and they're having trouble nursing or their supply. Think of your supply. A lot of moms that complain of that, they're super stressed. The more stress you have, the less supply you're going to have. There may be other things going on as well, but when you are stressed, you're in that fight or flight mode. Your body is not caring about the digesting and the healing and giving to your baby mode. So just think of that if your supply is dropping, that you really need to reevaluate your environment and see what's going on. And you can't control all stresses, but try to get rid of or eliminate the ones you can control, and that's going to help out tremendously. So for baby, post labor delivery, there's epidural, pitocin, pain meds, and all those kind of things. All those can pass through the baby as well. So that can affect them chemically, add that stress to their nervous system function. That can give them digestive issues later. Their maturity is already really, really low. And so it's super important, to be able to nurse them and kind of go through that process to get the digestive system up and running. When we have supply issues or nursing issues, we go to formula, which that's okay. But when you switch a lot of different formulas, that can kind of confuse their digestive system as well and give some more added stress to that. So I want to give just a little personal story here, because I mentioned earlier that I have 2 kiddos and 1 on the way. So I have a 8-year-old boy. I was kind of tell you mom's story that she went through with that. That was our first time mom. We didn't really know anything, what to expect. We did go to a midwifery and have him in a birthing center. So that was an awesome experience. But, after Mr. Dane came into this world, mom was in horrible, horrible pain. She was miserable for weeks. Weeks and weeks just kind of went on. It's so hard to kind of watch that. But along with that, she started to get some depression. This is really hard to watch her go through that. Those physical, chemical, emotions and stresses. And the biggest thing is to know what you could expect. See, we didn't really know a lot. We were just going to a birthing center, great, everything's gonna be awesome. But nobody really talks about that 4th trimester. Really those little minute things of the pains and everything you're gonna feel and go through. And so, she didn't know, and that was the biggest kind of emotional stress that she has, because she's like, why is this all happening? I didn't know anything about this, or know it could be like this. So she didn't really know that this stuff could happen the way it did. And I know I was a huge part in helping her through those times, definitely for emotional support and, getting her nervous system hormones working like they should by getting her adjusted. regularly to kind of help her through that process. And then we have Reese. She's 2.5 now. Similar story, except for, we knew a little bit more. We knew some more questions to ask, and all of that. So that was great. We kind of knew what to expect. She was a little more experienced now, right? But it's kind of similar, a lot of the same pains, but she knew they were coming this time, or at least it could be something that she has to work through. The depression wasn't as bad as before, so that was great. A little bit of that is mindset and knowing. And then another was we had a tincture and some capsules made out of the placenta, which really, really helps with that depression process there. Every kid is so different. This time, she knew a little bit, so it wasn't as bad because she at least had that some kind of experience to know at least something was going on. So I would just urge to ask and talk about it with others, really get those good fine details and really know what's gonna, how you're gonna possibly feel afterwards. So ask those questions about the unknown. What if, how did you feel? All those kind of things. So you at least have an idea. All right, so now we're gonna get to the 4 tips. I want you to remember these tips. These are super crucial into helping you kind of get through this 4th trimester. So number 1, don't be afraid to ask for help. Use your team of friends, your family, your providers, all of them for help. Like I am here, you can always reach out to me for help. If I don't know, I will find you somebody. Our strongest moments are those when we're most vulnerable. So reach out, get those, that team behind you, and really ask for help. Number 2 is take care of yourself. Self-care is super, super important. At the beginning, all eyes, all focus is on your new little one. And they command a lot of your energy and focus, and they need that and deserve it. But your baby also depends on you. So you need to be cared for as well. The more self-care you have, the more you're going to be able to give out and pour out, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So fill yourself up with that self-care. That way you can give more. I know, moms, women, they just love to give. So the more self-care you have, the more you're able to give to your whole family, friends, significant others, like that. Number 3, trust your gut instincts. There's nothing more powerful than mama's intuition. So really pay attention to that. The more you're going to listen to it, the more you're going to start to hear it. And it's just there's something to that moms know. Moms know best. So just really listen for it, and you're going to hear it more and trust it. And also number 4, it takes a tribe or a community. So as we mentioned, getting that team to be able to ask questions, get that community, that team around you. Here we're so honored to be a part of, so many moms, tribes, or community. We pride ourselves here at Be Well to be a community for everybody. And, we help mamas out, part of that community from preconception, conception, pregnancy, through motherhood, and then on to their next pregnancy as well. So it's a real honor to be able to do that. So for those 4 steps, don't be afraid to ask for help. Super, super important. Self-care, make sure you fill yourself up, first, so you can give, because your baby and your family and everybody, is dependent, on you. Trust your mama gut, your instincts, that intuition that you have. And then finally, find you a community, your tribe, someone you can relate with, talk to, ask questions, all of that throughout your whole pregnancy. So I want to talk about Lacey real quick. She was a first-time mom that came into our office. She came in pretty early in her pregnancy, was under care through it all. Then she had her baby, just taking it easy. I always tell my moms to come in as soon as them and baby feel comfortable to get checked, so we can really, that was a lot of trauma and stress, even if it was a perfect birth, for mom and baby. So I always recommend coming as soon as you feel comfortable, and we'll check you. And so she came in, she was a little nervous to come in at first, but she was sore, different emotions going on, sleep deprived, milk was coming in, all these different things. And she just didn't really feel like going anywhere at all. But she gave us a call, made an appointment just 1 week postpartum. And that's when she got her first adjustment for her and her baby. And so once she got adjusted, she had immediate relief. She felt so much better. You can just see the weight of her shoulders just kind of drop. She's starting to feel more awake, more energized. And now she's about 5 months postpartum, and she notices improvement in sleep, her mood, all her emotions, the stress. She's a pretty chill person, but everybody gets stressed, right? And different things kind of going on, and new stuff stresses us out. So she handled it. It was awesome. And so after about now she just came in recently. She's like, hey, I'm back to my pre-pregnancy self, physically and mentally. So that's super, super important. She can be able to be there for her family and support them and really care for that baby. So she really believes that her postpartum started off so great because of her consistent chiropractic care before and after delivery. So talk about our office a little bit real quick. So our office uses state-of-the-art technology, perfectly safe for pregnancy, infants, and beyond. What this does is it reads what your body puts off. Nothing else goes into the body. So this helps us locate those subluxations or where those internal stresses are. The technology also helps us create a plan specific to you that best fits your needs and goals. And when you come in, the adjustments, what they do is they're going to help relieve that tension, that stress, help regulate hormones, which will help with anxiety, depression, help with posture. And how it does that, it gets that proper communication back from your brain to your body and back and forth. And overall, it's going to help your body just function better. So, with all the chiropractic and nervous system stuff, kind of set that aside. And really what it's about is like Laceys' story. That's what really drives me every single day to come into the office to help moms like her to have an awesome pregnancy and an awesome 4th trimester and beyond. So if this sounds like you and the support you're looking for, join us. Allow us to be part of your tribe in your community. You can contact our office at 907-745-2430. You can private message us on Facebook. You can email at bewellak.com. And if you're not from here, I really want to help you as well. So you can reach out to me or go to the National Family Wellness Alliance. There you're going to find doctors who are trained in the same technology and postnatal care that you deserve. You just have to go to their website, search provider, enter your zip code, and they'll find the closest doctor to you. So I hope you guys found some value out of that. And, if you want us to be a part of your tribe, please reach out and give us a call. Hope you have a great night. Be well, everybody.